Good evening. Now the main stories in London. The mother of a 10-year-old girl who was murdered in Woking has paid tribute to her daughter. Sarah Shu's body was found at her home on Thursday. Police are currently searching for 3 people who have left the country. Our correspondent Simon Harris has more.
This is Sarah Sharif, the 10-year-old murder victim whose body was found in the one place she should have been safe, her home. Today, her mother Olga told the Sun newspaper, "She was so beautiful. I can't believe she's dead. My life will never be the same again. Sarah should be with me right now. She was too young. Sarah always stayed close to me. She's the one daughter that I have, and I always wanted a daughter." Sarah lived with her father and brothers at Horsell in Woking. Her parents were separated. Her mum had moved to the West Country. The family was well known in the local Pakistani community in Woking.
We are deeply saddened and deeply shocking. Whole community is in shock. And I have 3 young children. And very first night I could not sleep. Literally I could not sleep. All the time I was thinking about the girls. And it is very tragic news. Whole community is in shock.
The family home is still a crime scene. Surrey police say they're looking for 3 people who Sarah knew, but they haven't named them. Whoever they are, they're thought to have gone abroad on Wednesday, the day before Sarah's body was found. By the time police arrived at the house on Thursday, there was no one there. The police are also not saying which countries are involved in the international manhunt. Earlier today, a pathologist was due to examine Sarah's body to try to establish how she died. Simon Harris, ITV News.
In other news, a police and crime commissioner is calling on parents to intervene if their children are taking part in criminal social media crazes. The warning comes a week after an attempted mass looting on Oxford Street, organised through posts on TikTok. Donna Jones believes parents could be fined over certain anti-social behaviour.
If we have repeat offenders, if we have children and young people who are taking part in these and the police have warned them and they continue to do this, there have to be sanctions. And that could well lead to criminal records and fines for their parents. But certainly the parents have to get involved. They have to be taking charge of what their young people, of what their children are doing.
Police have released a CCTV image of a man they want to speak to in connection with a homophobic attack outside a bar in Clapham on Sunday evening. 2 men were stabbed while standing outside the 2 brewers on Clapham High Street. 2 of 3 Bulgarian nationals arrested and charged by police investigating breaches of the official secrets law are from North London. Bajza Shamsarov and Katrin Ivanova, both from Harrow, have been charged with possession of false identity documents with improper intention. They are yet to enter pleas and have been remanded in custody. And 6 former Met Police officers have been charged with sending grossly offensive racist messages on WhatsApp. A BBC Newsnight investigation in October last year prompted a probe into the inappropriate messages. They will appear at Westminster Magistrates Court next month. The Met Police have apologised to a gay man after he complained officers didn't take his claims of harassment seriously enough. Morgan McClellan says he was obsessively contacted by a man he met online, but the force took 3 months to track the suspect down and initially told him they couldn't caution the man because it was a domestic incident. Carolyn Sim reports.
After chatting briefly with a man online and meeting up with him only once, Morgan McClellan had made it clear he wanted no further contact. But in the days that followed, he began to realise he was being harassed.
In the end, he messaged, called and all that from, I think, 4 or 5 different phone numbers. That's officially what's on records. It could be more.
Every single day?
Yeah, every single day. When I would block him, a new phone number, when I would block him, a new phone number, and it just wouldn't stop.
When Morgan reported it to the police in April, officers told him he should come off social media, change his mobile number and watch his back. But the messages kept coming. In one exchange, the man wrote, "If I lose everyone, I lose everyone. Don't care at this point. If you don't want to be with me, fine, doesn't matter. I will die." In July, Morgan recorded a police officer telling him they couldn't issue the man with a caution.
Can you do cautions for harassment now?
If it's straight harassment, not domestic,
but because I've put the domestic flag in it, no.
Morgan complained and a senior officer admitted he'd been given the wrong information.
I feel let down myself. Distress and anxiety were words I used in my victim statement, and I think the last few months summarise that because it's had an impact on my whole life.
A charity told us many people in the LGBTQ+ community don't feel confident about reporting harassment.
We know that our community fears being treated with homophobia, with transphobia, with biphobia by the police when they come forward. We know some people who come forward do have negative experiences with the police and are treated in those ways. And it is important that we start to shift that.
Last month, Morgan was told the man was cautioned by police and that he had admitted the offence. On the subject of how his case was handled, the Met told us on the 9th of August we received a complaint from a man relating to 2 investigations into allegations of harassment he'd made. We have made contact with the complainant to explain the complaints process and will endeavour to keep him updated with progress. They told us this will be investigated by the Professional Standards Unit based on the North East Command Unit. But Morgan says he first lodged a complaint back in April. He's now about to move house because he still doesn't feel safe and he doesn't feel listened to. Carolyn Sim, ITV News.
Finally, are you able to help with this mystery? A museum in Greenwich is hoping someone can identify a woman in a portrait who was a serving female Navy officer in the Second World War. Her name has been lost to time, but experts say they have got some clues, but need help. Mahathir Pasha has the story.
She is one of the 75,000 who served in the Women's Royal Naval Service during the Second World War. Her striking pose was captured in this piece of art, which has now ended up in the hands of a museum. But there's still a big question remaining. Who is this war heroine?
This kind of portrait showing a woman in uniform is quite a rare thing, and certainly in the time that I've worked at this museum, this is the first opportunity we've had to acquire one, and the first opportunity for a long time. So we really want to make the most of that, and as part of that find out as much as we can about this woman and who she was, which is the mystery at the heart of the picture.
The Royal Museums Greenwich have spent the past 7 months researching this work and trying to identify the woman. They are now appealing to anyone who might recognise her to come forward. Thankfully, they've provided some clues.
Firstly, we have the signature and the date have been left for us by the artist. So we know it was made by an artist called Joseph McCulloch, and he's dated it in 1945. We know she's a third officer because she has this single stripe of light blue around both of her cuffs, which tells us her rank. She also seems to have won a medal, because you can see a medal ribbon pinned to her chest. She also seems to be wearing a wedding or an engagement ring as well. So there are this series of clues throughout this work.
The museum currently boasts hundreds of paintings of men in naval uniform, but not a single one of a woman. This work outlines a wider problem for some historians.
It flags up the fact that women have always been involved in the Navy, and more broadly they've always been involved in the military. But our history is very patchy, let's put it that way, and a lot of women's accomplishments and achievements in the military and contributions have really been forgotten about. And one of the reasons why they're forgotten about is because these histories tend to be written by men.
You'll be able to view this iconic work of art from February next year at the Queen's House in Greenwich. Meanwhile, the curators are hoping they'll be able to identify this mystery woman before then. Mahathir Pasha, ITV News.
What a difference the sunshine makes. Glorious day today. Has summer finally arrived? Here's Sally with the details.
ITV London weekday weather is sponsored by Octopus Electric Vehicles. Car, charger and energy.
Hello there, and a very good evening to you. I hope you had a lovely day. Some nice weather as we go through the next few days. Some sunny spells around, a bit of cloud as well, but mostly dry and warming up too. So here's the detail for the rest of tonight. Those skies continuing to clear, that cloud breaking up, and you can see that those temperatures will drop down, a bit like last night, to feeling a little bit fresh tomorrow morning, perhaps even down to single figures in the countryside. And there may well be a few pockets of mist and fog as we start Wednesday, but they'll disappear pretty pretty quickly as that sunshine gets to work. Another decent day for you. Yes, there will be a bit of cloud, a rogue shower here or there, but many areas staying completely dry and a touch warmer as well. Highs of 25 to 26, as we might just see a bit more in the way of sunshine tomorrow compared to today. We've got pretty light winds, maybe a touch of a sea breeze, and into the evening you see it stays fairly similar. That cloud melts away to give you a lovely end to the day. Another nice one on Thursday. Those temperatures continuing to climb as we move into Friday, getting more humid as well, and then the risk of some showers on Friday morning and rain later on in the evening and overnight. We'll keep an eye on the timings for you and let you know. That's it. Good night. Sleep well.
ITV London Weekday Weather is sponsored by Octopus Electric Vehicles.
And that is all for now. We are back with updates in Good Morning Britain from 6 a.m. Until then, from everyone on the late team, a very good night to you.